You have a burden that was never yours to bear. It hurts deeply and quietly, and you feel like you are missing something important. You feel broken or inadequate, and because you carry this echo of imperfection inside you, you have spent your whole life trying to fix the world around you. You are now the one in charge, the person who fixes things, the one who keeps everyone else's happiness monitored. You are the one who has to listen to all the complaints. You are the one who takes in the worries of your friends, family, and partners. You are the one who stays up late making the best advice, giving the answer, and trying to fix someone else's life that is leaking. You really think that if you can just correct them or make them happy, you will finally be worthy. You will have worked hard for your place. You will be able to be at peace. Therefore, you take on their problems as if they were their problem becomes your problem. Their bad mood makes you fail. You feel like you are responsible for their unhappiness. You've gotten so proficient at controlling other people's feelings that you've forgotten how to just be yourself. When you walk into a room, you don't ask yourself, "How do I feel?" Instead, you ask, "How does everyone else feel? And what do I need to do to cope with it?" This is the hardest thing to carry. The idea that you have to fix the world before you can live in it. This is the big lie of not being good enough. It has made you a tired shepherd for a flock that doesn't even want to be saved. Take a look around. Look at the world while it's sleeping. It's a world where performance matters. People are not being, they are acting. They act out their happiness, their success, and most importantly, their pain. There is a big shared theater of complaints. A lot of gossip. A constant buzzing noise of unhappiness. These people are sleepwalkers. They go through life chasing shadows and expecting the world to be comfortable for them. They think that happiness comes from outside of themselves, not from inside themselves. They see you, the person who fixes things and listens, and they come to you. Not to find answers, but to get energy. They don't want to be fixed. They want you to be a part of their play. They want you to believe that they are victims. They want you to take on their problems so they can stay asleep. They complain about the same things week after week, year after year. They talk about the same people behind their backs, which makes them feel morally better. They want your time, your sympathy, and your work, and they turn to a real way to move forward when you offer it. Because the answer would mean they had to wake up and take charge. It is much easier for you to just stay a problem that needs to be solved. This is the game that people who sleep play. It's a huge, complicated system of expected duty. I am unhappy because of him. I am angry because of her. My life is failing because of this. They are all professional victims who always play the role of the savior. And you, with your deep-seated flaw and feeling of not being good enough, have tried out for that role over and over, thinking it was the only one you could play. They need you to fix things for them so they don't have to do the scary work of fixing themselves. They want you to be responsible for their happiness so that they don't have to deal with their sovereign responsibilities. But something about you is changing. You are worn out now. You're not just tired in your body, you're tired in your soul. You are starting to pull away. You are hearing the complaints, but you are not taking them in anymore. You hear the gossip, but you don't participate in it anymore. You are watching the chaos, but you are no longer getting involved to fix it. You are letting the boat sink on purpose, and you know it's not your boat. You are not the captain, though, and you really aren't even on the ship. This stage is when the awakened archetype comes to life. This is the quiet watcher. This is the person who has seen behind the scenes of the social game, the person who sees the performance for what it is. This is the person who is slowly and terrifyingly getting their energy back. You are going back, not in weakness, but in deep, terrible wisdom. You are no longer giving advice that people will ignore. You don't have to give up your peace to deal with someone else's storm anymore. You are giving back the burdens that were given to you. You are putting their emotional baggage back at their feet and leaving. The world of sleep, of course, doesn't like this. Your retreat feels like an attack. Your silence feels like violence. People see your refusal to be the savior as a huge betrayal. They will say that you are cold. They will say that you are self-centered. They will say you have changed, and they will say it like an accusation. They have to, because your awakening is like a mirror. Your newfound calmness shows how frantic and loud their performance was. Because you won't carry their burden, they have to feel how heavy it really is for a moment, and they don't like you for it. You are not playing the game anymore. You don't try to fix the world anymore, to show that you deserve to be in it. You are just being, and in that quiet, powerful, free presence, you are starting to think of a truth you were never allowed to think about. What if you were never hurt at all? You have believed their diagnosis your whole life. They called you too sensitive, too serious, broken, difficult, or flawed because you couldn't just go with the flow of their distractions. Let's be obvious. This label does not mean you have a disease. It is a way to protect yourself. A shallow world must make depth seem undesirable. A world based on comfortable lies must call the truth seeker inadequate or crazy. A lower level of consciousness cannot understand a higher level of consciousness when it tries to judge it. It can only give it the wrong name. Your view of them is a threat to their work. Your calm honesty shows them how hypocritical they are. When you stand in a room and don't care about their problems or believe their lies, your presence is an uncomfortable light. You can see the game, you can see the fear, you see the desperate people who are chasing shadows, and because you see it, you can't play with a clear conscience. So, they have to find a way to make the mirror look bad. To keep their lives comfortable and broken, they have to call you broken. They must call you too sensitive because you can feel the truth that they have agreed to ignore. They must say you are not enough because your calm, simple presence shows that their frantic, noisy striving is too much. The most meaningful thing the sleeping world can say to an awakened soul is that they are broken. It isn't something I've noticed about you. It is an admission of their shortcomings. It's the acknowledgement that your depth is beyond their understanding. That's the sound they make when the anesthesia starts to wear off and they feel comfortable around you. You are not broken, you are just awake. And you've been living with a lot of people who sleepwalk and are mad at you for not dreaming the same thing. It's time to get rid of their wrong diagnosis and accept the right one. This is not a disease. This is a deep and independent awakening. To understand this, we can look at the three great truths of the sovereign soul. 1. Your inadequacy is your clear view of things. You may have felt like you are wrong or flawed, but that doesn't mean you're broken. It means that your soul is very healthy and working well in a world that is very broken. You are not inadequate. You are not under anesthesia. You have stayed open, even though others have closed themselves off to the noise, the hypocrisy, and the pointlessness of the social game. You feel everything. You can see the truth behind the act. You can hear the lie behind the loud claim. The flaw you've been talking about is just the friction between who you really are and a world that wants you to be fake. A healthy bird in a small, dark cage will feel inadequate because it can't fly. It will flap its wings and feel wrong, strange, and out of place. The bird isn't the problem. The cage is. You are a soul made for the open sky, but you've been trying to live in a cage and blaming your wings for the pain. Your pain is not a sign that you are sick. It is a sign of your health. It is the sign that you are awake and aware in a world that is asleep. 2. You are not a fixer, you are a beacon. You played the part of the fixer because you believed the lie that you weren't good enough. You thought you had to fix the world in order to fit in. This was the big mistake. You don't need to run around the busy sea fixing every ship that leaks. That's not your job. Your job is to be the lighthouse. A lighthouse doesn't care about what happens to each ship. It doesn't chase them. It doesn't yell at them to turn. When a ship ignores its warning and crashes on rocks far away, it doesn't feel like a failure. It doesn't feel inadequate because the storm is too strong. It just stands there. It stays where it is. It takes care of its light and it shines. Your only job is to be completely and honestly yourself all the time. You should be a steady point of reference, a light of calm, real presence in a world full of noise. That is your job. That is your strength. Some ships will use your light to find their way back home. Some people will curse your light for showing them the rocks they were speeding toward. It doesn't matter. That is their path, not yours. You can't fix things. You are a light. Stop fixing things and start shining. 3. You don't owe happiness to anyone. This is the last and most important freedom. You grew up in a world where people traded feelings. You have been taught that your value depends on other people. You have been taught that making other people happy is a sacred duty and a debt you owe to prove that you are alive. This is the main part of the sleeping world's prison. They will only make peace with you if you do what they want. Do this for me, and I'll be happy. Solve this for me, and I'll be calm. Prove my worth to me, and I'll feel worthy. And you, with your sensitive heart and feeling of not being good enough, have been working yourself to death to pay off a debt that was never real. Let's be very clear. You can't make someone else happy. You can calm them, D. You can take care of them. You can help them feel better for a short time, keep them busy, or save them from a bad situation. But you can't make them happy. You can't give them peace. Happiness is the work of a sovereign soul that cannot be negotiated with anyone else. An awakened consciousness has the right to peace that cannot be given away, sold, or traded. It is their job. They are in charge of it. This is the way for them. You are not letting them die when you finally let go of the impossible burden of their happiness. For the first time, you really care about them. You respect them enough to think that they can save themselves. You are respecting their right to be free. Your attempts to fix them were always a disrespectful way of saying you didn't like them, they didn't trust their soul. The greatest act of love is to stop taking responsibility for their happiness. It is the most truthful thing to do. The game is over. Now, to live by these three important truths, to be the pure light that guides others, and to let go of the debt of other people's happiness, there is a cost to this. Don't get it wrong. As soon as you stop being the one who fixes things, the world will turn against you. The price of your freedom is that people often don't understand it very well. They will call you a thief if you stop paying for their happiness. When you stop rushing to fix their every emotional problem, they will call you cold and uncaring. When you gently, without saying sorry, give them their problems back, they will say you are abandoning them. When you don't join in the gossip, they will say you are arrogant. And most importantly, they will use the big gun. People will say you're selfish. You need to learn to hear this word as the best thing you can say. What do they mean by selfishness? Taking care of yourself is a simple and sacred thing to do. It means respecting your energy, peace, and truth. It is the refusal to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. This selfishness is really the end of the false self and the start of the real one. You will feel lonely, but that doesn't mean you have failed. It is the holy space that your soul needs to finally be able to breathe. You are not losing them. You are losing the tiring roles you played for them. You're losing the people who came to see a show you never wanted to give. You're getting rid of the heavy costume of the fixer, the savior, and the emotional caretaker. This price isn't a cost. It is a freedom. The price of your light is that it will keep people who love the dark away. This is not a sad thing. It is the important, big sorting of your life. It is the clearing of the stage so that only real things are left. So, I'm here to give you the permission you've been waiting for all your life. You can be quiet. You can choose not to have an opinion. You can leave a conversation that is draining your energy. You can let people be. You have permission to let other people be. Let's say it again so it really sinks in. They are responsible for dealing with their disappointment. The weather inside them is what matters. You don't have to deal with it right now. It's okay to let them think you're wrong. You can let them call you broken, selfish, or cold, and you don't have to believe them for even a second. You can let their crisis be their crisis. You can let their boat sink while you stand strong on your shore. You can stop fixing things now. You can stop carrying now. You don't have to feel responsible for a happiness that was never yours to make. You can just be. This is your path. If this path of returning to authenticity speaks to you, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can keep walking together and learning more. The world will keep making noise. The complaints will not stop. The show will go on, but it's not your circus anymore. You are no longer in charge of the play. You don't have to worry about holding up the set anymore. You aren't even in the audience, wringing your hands. You are outside, walking through the quiet woods, breathing in the fresh air, and finally feeling at peace. The only thing you have to do is what you were born to do, to live in your skin, to be the real you. You were never broken. You were just a seed that had been planted in concrete and thought you were a stone. You are not a rock. You are an oak tree. And that feeling of not being good enough was never a bad thing. It was just the pain of your inevitable, powerful growth, pushing against a world that wasn't big enough for you. Let yourself break the concrete. Allow yourself to grow. Just being there is enough.